Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. So today we're going to be taking a look at the First Order ships and Fleets 2.0. These guys are incredibly great now. They do a lot of damage. They're really viable against the meta of what most people consider the meta of Vader and TIE Fighter and Biggs against the Chimera Capital ship. I'm going to go ahead and run a full First Order starting fleet with the First Order reinforcement of Kylo's command shuttle, but I'm going to go ahead and go through those first four First Order ships and talk about why First Order is actually the best order. So let's go ahead and get into that, and then we'll start going through some of these fights. So these are your four best order ships. You have Kylo Ren's command shuttle, the TIE Silencer, First Order TIE Fighter, and the First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter. And first off, you can see that I've got a lot of well-geared characters here, so I'm going to have pretty good stats on these ships, but we'll go through each thing. And you have Kylo Ren's command shuttle first, and what you want to use for the command shuttle is have him be your first reinforcement, because it gets an enforcer of the First Order. With this, whenever he enters the battle, any reinforcement called for the enemy fleet, he removes 20% turn meter from them, then he gains 20% turn meter, with other First Order allies gaining half of that amount. So this is great counters for those ships that come in with a lot of buffs, especially something like Boba Fett Slave 1. We know that Slave 1 has a lot of buffs coming in. He makes him really powerful. You can use something like this to boost the turn meter on Kylo Ren's command shuttle, and maybe he gets to go first before the Boba Fett's and Slave 1 can go, because then you can use the ability Advanced Jamming Array. There's a lot of abilities here, forgive me, I get some of them mixed up. This one, you dispel all buffs on the target enemy with a 70% chance to remove 25% turn meter and inflict healing immunity for 2 turns, which cannot be evaded. With this ability, you can completely neutralize the viability of a Slave 1 being called in. It gets all those buffs, you just use the Advanced Jamming Array and just wipe out all those buffs, and suddenly Slave 1's pretty useless for the most part. Coming up after that, we have the TIE Silencer. This is one of the starting ships. We have the Zeta Kylo Ren on mass here as the pilot for this. But really, what you want to do is make sure that you max out his overwhelming advantage ability here, because it gives a lot of bonus damage to him whenever he has advantage. And we'll go through some fights and you'll see that he's going to do a lot of damage, well over 100,000 if you have things working correctly. Then First Order TIE Fighter pilot. You know that this is one of those old meta ships because it had the strafe ability where it gets automatically refreshed anytime it hits a target locked enemy, does a lot of damage. So you want him as one of your starting ships. And of course, if you do actually look at his basic attack, try to get that maxed out, because it gives a bonus 50% chance to attack again with that additional target lock chance. So a lot of chances to do multiple attacks, a lot of high chance for inflicting target lock. So pretty good there. And then Special Forces TIE Fighter. Again, you want to make sure that you can at least bump up his basic a little bit. I can bump it up again a little bit more, but anytime it inflicts a critical hit, it can score a target lock. And if you have this fully upgraded, it has plus 40% crit chance on it. And with the mods and stats I have on him right now, this ship already has a base chance of 32% crit chance. So that'd be 72% crit chance once you get that ability fully upgraded. Pretty high crit chance, pretty decent chance of inflicting target lock. We've gone over the ships. Let's get into some of these fleet battles so you guys can see just how good First Order is. Alright, so the first battle we're going to use here is against Freon. You can see he's got a Chimera with a TIE Advanced, First Order TIE Fighter, and Biggs' X-Wing. You can see my lineup here. Let's go ahead and get into here. And of course, the one thing you're going to note is that the First Order ships are a bit faster than your Empire ships, so I can go first before his Vader can, which is going to be nice here because I can go ahead and stun that TIE Advanced here, because with the basic for the TIE Silencer, it can stun a ship that has more than 50% turn meter, and that is if it actually, resists the ability, which sometimes it won't, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and then call in the TIE Silencer again, and now it's stunned, and at least I can go ahead and maybe, nuke it a little bit. Maybe I can go ahead and call in a strafe or two, and hopefully I can take care of the Biggs X-Wing before things get a little too crazy. There we go, it's gone, and I can go ahead and stun the TIE Advanced again, and look at that. So we're already off to a good start here. I'll go ahead and call in the command shuttle. Now watch this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this ability here. They gain 100% turn meter and gain advantage. Going to give it to Kylo's command shuttle. Now with advantage, he's going to deal 100% bonus damage on the overwhelming advantage.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye-bye, Vader's TIE. So 78,000, I've seen it hit upwards of 80,000 at the right times. It just kind of knocks things out. You can see that we hit everybody there, and you can see that you can actually get bonus turn meter with the command shuttle whenever a first order ally takes damage. His first order TIE fighter is gone. He's gonna buff up the Slave 1, but it's not gonna be enough to save him, because what we're gonna do is, once again, we're just gonna go ahead, we'll buff him, and then we will call in Slave 1, or not Slave 1, we'll call in the TIE Silencer, and gone. Battle's done. Look at that. We only lost the first order TIE fighter, and we managed to come out pretty easily. No taunting ships on our team. So you can see it does a really good job there, because there's so much synergy. You call in these assists, you have the advantage given to Kylo. He can do some really nasty damage. Let's try one more fight here. Let's try against Saber Original. He's got a TIE fighter instead of a first order TIE fighter. So let's see what we can do here. We're going to do the same strategy from the beginning. We're going to call in the assist with TIE Silencer to stun Biggs' ship. We're hopefully going to stun Vader's TIE at the very beginning. We'll see if things can go our way here again. Hopefully they do. So we got the stun on Vader's TIE. We go ahead and target lock on that ship. And then we'll just go ahead and call in the assist here with a TIE Silencer. Didn't stun it, but that's okay, because what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and hopefully... Okay, good. The TIE fighter did not dodge. It was going to be a problem if it did. But what we can go ahead and do is stun Biggs' ship one more time, and hopefully, there we go. Biggs' X-Wing is gone. And can we get a target lock? Nope, no target lock on the TIE Advanced, but that's okay, because we'll just go ahead, call in Kylo's command shuttle. We'll buff up the TIE Silencer, and say goodbye to the TIE Advanced. Once again, knock things out pretty easy. This is going to be the trick, though, because, yeah, so we still have problems with the TIE Fighter, because it can still do things like that, and it can be a bit of a problem. We'll go ahead and remove the buffs from it. We'll buff up our team. TIE Fighter seems to be the main bane of this team. It's just a problem. You can't really do too much with, hopefully, there we go, knocked out the TIE Fighter. So, doing pretty good here. Of course, it inflicts ability block on the one ship I didn't want to inflict on, but that's fine, because now I can just go ahead, call in my Slave 1, and there we go. Hopefully I can inflict target lock. Easy enough. And you can see that we're doing pretty good. Bye-bye, the Slave 1. And, you know, he's going to call in his, which is fine, because I can just go ahead and call in mine here in a moment. If it allows me to do it, we'll see. And there we go. Didn't have to call in the ultimate. Voila. Easy, easy, easy. So, these are some battles you guys have seen. I'm going to go ahead and narrate over some other battles. I've got some here with Biggs' X-Wing as well for the taunts. So I'm going to narrate over some other battles as we go through some more, just talking about what First Order brings and how well it compares to other ships, and why First Order is such a dominant ship fleet to have now, and what we could hopefully see with them in the future, because maybe one day we can finally get General Hux and his finalizer ship in here. So let me go ahead, start narrating through some other battles, and just talk to you about why the First Order is so good. So you guys noticed that I was using Chimera for my capital ship, and the main reason for this is because one of his abilities give bonus crit chance and crit damage to your ships, doubled for Empire, but because advantage is such a mainstay of your First Order fleet here, they get that advantage, they get a lot of offense up, there's a high crit chance on them anyways, so you can get that bonus crit damage and you can really get a nice return on it. With Kylo Ren and his TIE Silencer, whenever he uses his missile attack, he gets a lot of bonus damage from having an advantage, then you add in that bonus crit damage, you're going to get a lot of damage in with it, and you saw the 90,000 hits on Vader and his TIE Advance. I've seen well over 100,000 with this ability at the right moments, so getting the crit chance and crit damage bonuses on there is great there. With the Special Forces TIE Fighter, its basic attack gets bonus crit chance already, 40% max upgraded, but anytime it scores a critical hit, it inflicts a target lock. but then you add in that bonus 15 crit chance from the Chimera, you can get upwards of 90% crit chance on that basic attack for the Special Forces TIE Fighter. That is a lot of bonus crit chance that you can run on that and maybe get a lot of target locks with that. And of course you have the regular First Order TIE Fighter, which already does nice damage with its strafe ability, so bonus crit damage and crit chance on that, great way to really boost its damage. You can also run the Executrix. There is a tenacity down on its basic attack. It gives allies bonus offense for debuffed enemies. So there are some great things there, but of course the nice thing here is because the TIE Silencer is already so fast once you have some nice gear on Kylo Ren Unmasked, you can stun potentially 2 targets in the first turn like I did there. I had his basic against the TIE Fighter Advanced, that way you could prevent it from attacking and target locking someone, and then you can call an assist on Biggs and have him stun too so he can't use his attack against a target locked enemy or even attack and maybe inflict target lock on someone. So getting that double assist and double stun from the TIE Silencer early on in the match is a great thing here. So all these abilities come together nicely. For the reinforcement, I use the command shuttle. I have seen some people say that maybe you should run the First Order TIE Fighter instead because it has a guaranteed target lock, but for me personally, I like the reinforcement for the command shuttle because it gives bonus turn meter to your First Order team and also removes some turn meter from the reinforced ship. So if I have something where a Slave 1 gets called in right after my command shuttle, I can maybe possibly get some way to remove those buffs from the Boba Fett and also give some turn meter to my team in the process. It's a nice way to really buff up your team and help counteract the fact that a reinforced ship gets called in with all these advantages. So the command shuttle is my favorite go-to one here, but I can definitely see the appeal of a First Order TIE Fighter being called in as a reinforcement. I'm not going to argue with you guys using either one. Those are definitely your 2 best ones. Don't call in the TIE Silencer as a reinforcement. It's better up front. You guys saw with the double stun very early on. So it's much better to have both the First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter and the TIE Silencer out at the very beginning of the match. They get a lot more usefulness there than being called in as reinforcements, so don't bother with them as reinforcements. For your other reinforcements, of course, we have the Slave 1. Beyond that, I don't really care too much. That's bad on me, I know, not very helpful, but usually most of these matches go on pretty quickly, about 2 minutes by the time the match is over, and then you don't really call in the 3rd and 4th reinforcements, though I am fighting a First Order team, and it goes on for a good 3 to 4 minutes, and we do get down to the last or second to last reinforcement. So find another First Order team. It's pretty rough. It does not match up very well. I mean, that's just how it is. They both take advantage of target locks and advantage and crit damage. So it's 2 teams kind of slugging it out. But you guys can see in some of these fights that we're having, you can see I'm fighting versus a team with Ghost and Phantom on it. I've got a team that's going to have Rebels with Poe Dameron's X-Wing on it. There are some varied matches I have here, and these are all with the Biggs' X-Wing, so there is some nice stuff there. However, you guys saw in the live matches that we don't really need to run the Biggs' X-Wing here, because you can then use that Special Forces TIE Fighter and get that double stun. So if you want to use Biggs' X-Wing, that's fine. It's a nice safety bump for you. It's going to help your team stay alive. You can see that they're going to have a harder time picking off your team because they have to get through Biggs' X-Wing, and he's constantly gaining protection from your target locks. So it's perfectly okay to use Biggs' X-Wing here, but me personally, since I'm such a First Order fanatic, hashtag First Order is best order, that I want to run a full First Order fleet. So that is pretty much it for this video, guys. This is pretty much just me showing you guys how the First Order does and how dominant it is in the fleets. Let me know what you guys think about this. I'm sure there's other fleets you guys want me to test out. If you guys did enjoy this video, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. If you guys did enjoy this video and you want to see more about the First Order, go check out that First Order Discord. There's a link to it down in the video description. As always, thanks again to all of my patrons for their donations, and to all of my viewers out there and subscribers. I will talk to you guys later.